Is there any specifics that you can think of at the moment that, and I guess, your business is very different to where you are today versus where you started. And what systems or what thoughts about systems, process, procedure did you have early days versus now, and how those two things join up?
Yeah, look, you know, one of the first ones I think is, and I guess it's also because of my vocation. I grew up in the sales vocation, right? And so when I look at a lot of, especially in this in the kind of business segment, in the services space, right? Um, a lot of founders don't have the discipline and structure in a sales process, and that can be a real pitfall because you essentially can't predict future revenue. It's very hard, right? And you're going great because you've won some big contracts, and then when they come to an end, you fall off a cliff because you don't have a robust pipeline of business, right? And it's very hard to scale sustainably, right?
Yep.
Without a really good sales process, and that's probably the first. Like I usually start there, right?
Mate, I
Um,
absolutely love that. I'm a, as the podcast name
yeah,
alludes to, I'm a salesperson. I've been a salesperson all my life, and this is you're singing to the choir here. This is what I talk about all the time, so I'm loving it. So when you talk about discipline and structure, yeah. So keep going on that, please.
yeah, it is like really understanding the metrics of your sales funnel, right? So, if you're a business and you want to generate so much revenue per month, right? If your product is people, right, then what is your capacity? Therefore, how much do you have to close to keep capacity going? And, when do you need to close the next round of deals to keep that capacity
Mm.
flowing, right? And not understanding that can be a real peril, especially for a lot of young upstarts who they start up because they win a few anchor clients, and they're busy just delivering really what they should do, deliver value, right? But, you know, they're not prepared for then, okay, what happens when those clients, the natural ending of those relationships comes and you got to get your next client, right? And if you want to grow, you've got to understand that means you have to grow everything at the front end of your funnel, right? Because, keeping five mouths to feed is different to keeping 10 to 20 to 50 to 100, right? So
Indeed.
really understanding, all right, how much do we need in just at the very top end of the funnel? What are the translation metrics to actually customers that are then qualified that we're in a bid process with? How many of those do I close on average that leads me down into, this end of my funnel? And really understanding that, and then understanding, and this is where a lot of people get to the point where, oh yeah, I get that, Frank. I get my ratios in my linear funnel, but okay, hold on. Now we're starting to scale our sales organization. So if I go to
Mm.
two salespeople or three salespeople or 10 salespeople, right? And I say, how do you qualify a deal? Am I going to get the same answer of the whole 10? If I say, how do you qualify your position in the deal? Am I going to get the same answer from the same 10? And so the art and science of how you sell has to be a discipline that is repeatable and consistent, right? And so how you onboard your salespeople, how you bake in the sales discipline into their everyday behavior, so you get a consistent. I don't care if you use TAS or Brick or Medic or whatever methodology you choose, but pick one and embed the behavior into everything that you do operationally. It should be baked into your systems. It should be baked into how you run your review processes, your sales meetings, and all that kind of stuff. And you often find that that's where the first mistake goes, because a lot of those things are disintegrated. And this sales guy's a star performer. He comes over, he uses he or she uses their own, you know, version of a sales method. You don't trust
Yeah.
them because they're winning, right? They're doing. You go, okay, great. They're closing deals. I'm not gonna break it, but it doesn't work. It doesn't scale. So